YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video. And in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about quarterback Taylor Heinicke and can he lead us to the playoffs? So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you can notify when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So not only can one Taylor Heinicke lead us to the playoffs, but can we possibly win a game or maybe even two with one Taylor Heinicke at quarterback? So let's get into it. So we already know, Taylor Heinicke is obviously not the long-term answer at quarterback, okay? He is a guy that you still want on your roster, though, because he is to me, he is the best backup in football, okay? He's a guy that obviously we know can come in at any time and win you some football games, and he can take over, a season or two. If you need Taylor Heinicke to play, 8 games while your starting quarterback is out hailing, he got you, okay? And we know that. So with this recent act from Taylor Heinicke, these 2-3 game win streaks that he's put together, he has played well enough to win us those games. But let's just take an example, and let's say we get to the playoffs, okay? Has he played well enough in your opinion, to get us a playoff victory? But before we do that, has he played well enough to get us to the playoffs with his performances? Let's just assume every performance he's had on these 2-3 game win streaks that we've upheld. Let's say though that is what we're going to get from Taylor Heinicke moving forward, okay? Along with how dominant the defense has been and stuff like that. Is that good enough to get you in the playoffs? And once we answer that question, also answer this question. Do you think those performances are good enough to win us a playoff game or possibly two? Me personally, I think the way Taylor Heinicke has played has been good enough to get us to the playoffs. Okay, I think we can get to the playoffs with how he's been performing. Obviously, you want to see him be better and not missing so many throws, but he can definitely work on it. Okay, but overall performance-wise, I think he has played well enough to get us to the playoffs. Okay, I think he's played way better than what Carson Wentz would do, because obviously we know he provides the ability to extend plays and escape pressure that Carson Wentz doesn't uphold, at least not anymore at his age and at his career. So I think he played well enough, and I think he can lead us to the playoffs. Another thing that people have I don't know if y'all forgot, okay, but Taylor Heinicke has playoff experience, okay? He played in the 2020 playoff game for Alex Smith, so he has playoff experience. Not only does he have playoff experience, but probably 90%, or I would say probably 85% of this team has playoff experience, okay? Pretty much everybody from that 2020 roster is still here, okay? Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, okay? Kendall Fuller, Cameron Curl, okay? I want to say Wes Schweitzer and obviously Charles Leno, okay? Those guys, Antonio Gibson, he was there in that playoff game for us. So we have some players on this team. Majority of the team is experience, okay? With playoffs. Now you got the young guys like Jamin Davis that missed out, Derek Forrest and Benjamin St. Juice and obviously Samuel Cosme and some of those guys like Andrew Norwell. At least Andrew Norwell didn't make it to the playoffs with us, and Trey Turner and stuff like that. You got those players that obviously didn't make it to the playoffs that 2020 year with us, but for the most part, those guys already have been to the playoffs. It's only the rookies and the second year guys that we have to worry about that didn't make it to the playoffs. But those third year guys, those guys that were here for the first year of Ron's tenure, which is majority of the team, they have playoff experience, and that is huge, because in 2020, not only did we not know what we were doing, we already expected to lose because we barely should have gotten in the playoffs in the first place. Remember, that division was not good. So along with the division not good and us having a lot of young pups, it was gonna be a lot of hard work and a lot of luckiness and perseverance to possibly get a victory over the Buccaneers, and we didn't. And eventually, they went on to win the Super Bowl, if I remember correctly. Okay, so we are now in a better space. Terry McLaurin has playoff experience. Okay, Cam Sims, obviously Curtis Samuel, He wasn't here in 2020, but I believe in Carolina they made it to the playoffs. I believe 1 year under his tenure. I could be wrong though. Logan Thomas and those guys, they have playoff experience. Okay, so that's going to be huge moving forward. So I definitely think we can get to the playoffs with these guys. And I remind you, the defense is playing good right now, great, if not better than what we were playing in 2020. Obviously, we're missing the performance from Chase Young, but other guys have stepped up. James Smith Williams, F.A. Obata, uh, 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 um, you know, um, John Ridgeway. These guys have stepped up huge. Casey Toohill has stepped up huge in the absence of Chase Young. So we are missing a big piece of our defensive line, but we don't really need him. Like, we're not dying for Chase Young. At this point, Chase Young is a necessity. He is something that we can look to add at some point, but we're not dying for his presence because we have guys that are playing within the scheme, not playing selfish. So that's allowing us to be good. Okay. So we are a good team. Okay. I think we have the talent to play in the playoffs. I think we have a talented team to get to the playoffs. Now, do we have the talent to win a playoff game or two? Honestly, I think so. Because not only do we have the talent to get to the playoffs and possibly win a game or two, the conference is not as strong as it once was 2 years ago or even last year. Okay, every team in front of us, I think if we matched up with them in the playoffs, we could give them a run for their money. Whether it's the Eagles, whether it's the Vikings, whether it's the Cowboys, whether it's the Giants, whether it's the 49ers with Brock Purdy, whether it's Seattle, whoever it is, I think we can give them a run for their money in the playoffs. So I definitely think if this was the year Washington finally broke the curse of finally winning a playoff game, it will be this year because again, we haven't won a playoff game since 2005, right? I was 2 years old when that happened. Okay, so we are in a spot where we can finally put that to bed, and not only put that to bed, but I think honestly, this is the perfect year where we can make a playoff run because next year teams like Carolina is going to be much better with an improved quarterback. Teams like the Rams may be back to full health. The Cardinals may be better next year. Countless other teams that weren't good this year that kind of had some type of expectation built up. They are going to be better next year, and the NFC is not going to be as, I would say, not weak, but not as slight as it is now. A lot of these teams are going to be vastly improved. So if this is the year Washington not only wants to make it to the playoffs, they can possibly make a playoff run this year. Okay, this has to be the year that we do that. And it kind of sucks. I love Taylor Heinicke. Trust me, I do. I don't think he's the future. And that's why I say it sucks, because what if this was the year we finally had our future quarterback? Like, what if this was the year Washington, had drafted their rookie quarterback, or we drafted him in 2021, or Sam Howell was the guy, right? And we were in the same predicament. This would be good because now we can build on this in the future, and we can still be a consistent contender in the NFC, knowing that we have a guy at quarterback. But we don't have that. We have Taylor Heinicke, who's good for the year and good for the current circumstance. But who's to say that he's going to be doing this again next year? No one knows that. So yeah, this year, how I'm feeling, 7-5-1 right now. I currently think if he can lead us to the playoffs, and not only can he lead us to the playoffs, I think with everything coming into factor, his play, how the defense is, and how this conference has shaped up this year, I think he could get us to playoff win. But again, it's one tally at a time. But I want to come on here with that question. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comment section. Do you think Taylor Heinicke could not, one, just lead us to the playoffs? That's a question in itself. Do you think he can lead us to the playoffs? Then two, do you think he can win us a playoff game or two? I said yes to both of them because a lot of things play into factor. It would be different if he didn't have any experience in the playoffs and he didn't come in there and have the magical 2020 game that he had. It would be different. But the fact that he had the 2020 game that he had, okay, he has better connection with his receivers. He has the defensive line playing much better. I think this could be a good year for Washington to make some noise in the playoffs. But again, first we got to get there, and then secondly we got to get healthy. Because I mean, no Chase Roulier, no Tyler Larson. We're now going to be with Nick Martin, and Sam Cosmi got to get healthy. Benjamin St. Juste got to get healthy. Wes Schweitzer got to get more experience back on his boat because he's coming back from the injury too. So we got some guys that are going to be out, but Chase Young got to get back. But for the overall view of it, I think we can get to the playoffs. And not only do I think Taylor Heinicke can lead us to the playoffs, I think he can win us a game or two. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. How are you feeling? Do you think Taylor Heinicke can lead us in the playoffs? And do you think he can get us a victory while there? So as always, it's me, boy, Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Help to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Well, peace.
Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you poppin', get you driving.